How's it everybody, Celtic Link here. We are back for another Dokkan Battle video. In today's video, we are doing a 1 year later feature of the Fizz LR EZA Janemba. Corroded Body Mine is finally in a good position with the release of the Dokkan Fest baby, and I am kind of curious to see how Mr. Janemba is doing a year later, now that he is on a much better team than when he EZA. Well, I don't know. That's tough to say, right? I do like the Corroded Body of Mine team better now with the setups that it does have, but I mean, he was on a pretty good setup with the uncontrollable power, not gonna lie. And of course, Baby misses that dodge here, but one of the things that I like about the Corroded Body of Mine is, despite Janemba being on its 170 here, there's quite a bit of support that comes into this team that really does help him out. Plus, now, of course, we have the EZA Tech Janemba. So this guy actually has a really good partner now, which is good, right? When we were running him before on uncontrollable power, that was the main thing, is he doesn't have a partner. Now we have the Tech Janemba, who, by the way, is coming in on slot 7, as we can see. So he'll be a little bit behind the Fizz counterpart, but he's not really the showcase here. I'm more concerned with how Janemba here is doing, and pretty good so far. But then again, AGL Trunks not doing that, nothing crazy this turn other than stunning us. I do like the. I do like this stage, not just for showcases, but as I've mentioned before, this is a challenging stage. A lot of people like to ignore it, but Trunks at the end, you know, throwing out that 7 million supers, that's no easy task to deal with. So it'll be curious to see how we handle the end here. So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna put AGL Rose in front, because just in case Trunks decides to super in slot 1, at least we'll take some damage, but at least we won't get STR Rose sealed, who we definitely need his attack to be raised, right? We can't afford to lose that. So plus we'll get a little bit of build up on AGL Rose here, which is great, right? And he doesn't super, it would look like, so. Alright, perfect. Alright, nice little build up there on AGL Rose, and then now we get the super with STR Rose. Easy day. So the goal is to keep one Baby, one Rose together on a rotation, and then keep the, maybe we'll just keep AG. Well, I like it. We could probably use the support. I don't know. I was gonna say we could float the babies off, but we probably want them on rotation anyway. So, we'll keep one Baby, one Rose together, and then the two Janembas together. Perfect. Okay. Now we've got... Okay, so entering the Fizz phase here. This is a Ki Blast super, so we could totally throw Janemba in slot 1 where that super is, and we'll negate it. But there's a good orb setup here. Let's just take that. Let's take the orb setup with Tech Janemba, so he gets the support, he gets all his guard and stuff, and then we'll just let Fizz Janemba continue to build in slot 1 here, or slot 2 here. Remember, he can build slot 2, slot 3, post ECA, and then we could shift him into slot 1 if we need. Although with Tech Janemba, it really, I mean, he'll probably want to be slot 1 anyways when we transform him due to his high dodge. But we'll see. It's really just going to depend on the super attack placements, honestly. I think that's going to be the bigger determining factor in how we manage this. But there goes the super. We should tank this pretty easy. Alrighty, there we go. Not bad at all. Considering that attack, that 30 million there, like, that's what we expected from him, like, maxed out last year, right? And this is just kind of casually here on Baby's 170. So that just shows, like, he can peak pretty high here, I think. I think it's really just going to depend on the rotations that we have set up here. So there we go. We get an additional. Alright, perfect. And so Baby should finish this phase for us and roll us straight into the blues. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so The nice thing about the babies is running double baby means we could essentially have, for just about every turn, have a scouter up, which is going to be really helpful for managing this fight. So really, 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 really good here. Excellent. Okay. Let's see here. Alright, so the transformation on the second baby, we will yeah, this will probably be the one we keep on. We'll just keep him next to Rose. Hopefully we don't have shenanigans happen with that dodge. I've been having his dodge fail a lot lately. A lot more than should, considering that it is a 70%, 90% chance on his first appearance. It should be. And for the majority of the time that he's on, it is a 80%. So, I mean, come on, man, don't... Alright, well, lucky us, the super is in the final slot here. Oh, actually, okay, this is great. Okay, because we can just do this number, and Rose will tank that super. So, you know what? This is totally fine. So we can put Baby here. Unfortunately, we'll only get the 3 instead of the 5 to max him out, but that's fine because that can give us a rotation on the next turn to let Tech Janemba get built up a little bit more. So I guess I can't complain about that. Alright. We still get an additional super, though, so that's nice. There we go. Well, there goes the normal. Alright, 47 mil on the Rose. And obviously, you know, it probably would be best for us to keep the 2 Roses together, but then we run the risk of not having a slot 1, which could be potentially dangerous. Not necessarily in the later fights, because Trunks tends to super in slot 3, but definitely for the Vegito, that could cause some problems. So I think we'll just stick with things as are. Are we about to solo this phase? I really hope not. Because Tech Janemba's only had 1 turn of build, and okay, we don't solo the phase. Good. And there goes the super, and like I said, so after a couple of hits there, Rose should tank that, no problem at all. Perfect. Yep. Double digits. That's what we like to see. And then now... Ooh, there's quite a couple of attacks there. I think Tech Janemba should handle them. Question is, do we want him to? Yeah, might as well. That way. So we'll get his orbs. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Oh, there we go. And then we get the 7 with him. So get his rainbow. Perfect. So let him get some build up still. Perfect, right? We want him to get that build up so he can get that attack increase. And then we can transform him. There we go. One more. We're going to get one more. Okay, so we're going to get the build of Tech Janemba. So we do lose a turn of build. Well, not really lose a turn. Janemba is built up. But, you know, we are sans a turn here. Okay, all right, but not bad. I mean, we're doing pretty good, right? The Blue Boys phase is where the difficulty tends to ramp up. I would say it really ramps up right here, which has been a little worried because there are a lot of attacks there. So we are going to just go ahead and stick Baby there. We're going to pray that we don't miss a dodge, and then we get that attack lower with the Rose. Okay, don't miss. Yes. Okay, we get the dodge. Alright, perfect. Alright, so we did lose a couple of hits there, but that's okay. Jeez. There we go, but the attack lower, we get double 12 key. Nice, that's a double attack lower there. So that's good. That'll help us out, but jeez, baby, what happened, man? Okay, so here we go. We get an additional super. 37 mil. Okay. Alrighty, so let's see here. Okay. So I think at this point, yeah, we're going to put Phy Janemba in front now, and then we'll put Tech. Although, I mean, we could use the extra hits, just not sure where he's going to super, and that has me concerned, especially since he does have the ability to super twice. But look at that. We are taking double digits here. I mean, granted, there was an attack lower, all right, but still, it's pretty good. Okay, excellent. There we go. Yeah, so it seems like, you know, when Baby's on rotation, obviously he has the higher support, right? Supporting that Corroded Body and Mind is nice. There we go. We get an additional super there. All right, 14 mil. Obviously not particularly a lot, but, you know, obviously it is stacking, and that's going to add up once we finally do transform him. And there goes the second super. Oof. Oh. How do we do? How do we do? How do we do? Alright, not bad. 260. Pretty good. Alright, and then now Rose can go ahead and finish up for us here. Hopefully. We'll see. Okay, maybe not. Unless we get a quad here. Can we get a quad? There we go. Maybe. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, that's fine. Well, you know what? That does give us another turn of stacking here with Rose and or Baby. Well, I guess I can't complain. Oh, wow. Look at that. There goes that double super again. Okay, so let's take that with Baby. We'll get a little bit of a heal for grabbing that. Not much, but enough. Grab that, and then we'll send off the Omega Shenron. There we go. We get a nice little buff. And the next time Omega sends up, we will go ahead and use his domain. Perfect. And then the second super here with Baby. So obviously maybe the higher attack with Rose would be helpful, but also this does give us a little insurance in case Baby decides he doesn't want to dodge in the next phases, which can happen. Perfect. So we do have a 7 million super here, but what I'm actually going to do, because I hate this phase, yeah, because I hate this phase, what we're actually going to do here, is pop, we're going to pop Baby's giant form so we can just push ourselves out of this phase and actually deal damage, right? Because that's the big issue with the Ent phase, is it's basically wasted damage. So we may as well use Baby's giant form because it's not going to do damage anyways, and just burn through the Ent phase here. Alright, beautiful. So, we take the super there, and we get another super here with Baby. It really is a shame. I don't know why his giant form is so much weaker than all the others we've gotten this year. I guess they just didn't give him enough on his of his passive buffs. His attack just ends up being so much lower than other giant forms, which is really sad, because like the Ent Baby's giant form is really good. But for some reason they just, I don't know, dropped the ball here, because his base form is great. Like, I have no, other than sometimes missing the dodge, I have no complaints about Baby's base form. It's mostly just the fact that the giant form just doesn't really do enough. Alrighty. Okay, so we got another turn, and this will absolutely push us over there and into the fizz phase where we can actually start dealing damage, which is what matters, honestly. So, yeah. Here we go. So let's grab that, and then, okay, take that. Perfect. Alright, so we transformed Tech Janemba here. We are in slots 1 with him here. Obviously, we can't put Fizz Janemba here as much as we would want to, and we get the dodge nice. As much as we would want to, we can't put Fizz Janemba here because, you know, he's not going to tank a 7 million super. I mean, I hope that is apparent that to people that he would not tank a 7 million super pre-super, but the fact that we can work him in to be in slot 2 here next to Tech Janemba, who has pretty decent guard and dodge. You know, we shouldn't have too much problem. And yeah, honestly, the Tech Janemba is doing some pretty decent damage here. There we go. Nice. All right, 23 million. So not the highest we've seen out of this guy. In fact, we saw higher earlier. But, I mean, we are much further in the fight. And we did kind of have to shift things around, losing attacks on him. So, and also, we lose the support, too, right? We don't have the fat Janemba support, so, I mean, obviously, that goes without saying, that shifts things a little bit here. All right, perfect. So, there we go. But look at that. We are tanking double digits, and this is, what are his normals? His normals are, like, I think, like, 2-3 million here right now. So that's actually pretty impressive considering that was the supers that he was dealing with when he released. So that's pretty crazy. There we go. All right, so I'm pretty sure this is our last turn, and funny enough, we didn't even get to pop Omega's domain. That's funny. So let's just go ahead. We're going to pop the giant form here. We'll use the active skill real quick, do a little bit of damage, and then we'll pause, and we'll kind of come back so you guys don't have to sit through another giant form. All right, so giant form is over. A little bit less painful for you guys. So we're going to go ahead and swap into Zamos. Unfortunately, we're not below the 60% threshold, so we're not going to do as much damage. And of course, we don't get the crit, which would have helped a lot. But that's okay. Let's see here. So we'll pop Baby in slot 1 here. We'll get his full orbs. We'll grab that with Zamos and send off AGL Rose. So that pretty much takes care of that. Oh, and we get the Dokkan attack with Baby too. So, of course, we couldn't end without missing that final dodge. So there we go. We do get the Dokkan attack, and that closes out the business here. Very, very impressed, honestly, with everything that was seen here with the Janembas. I was honestly pretty surprised that they did as well as they did here. I think they would struggle a little bit more in the Broly fight, but that's because, right, while I think if Fizz Janemba might be alright with a little bit of Broly buildup because Tech Janemba really relies on that dodge, he's going to lose a partner. I might try him a little bit into the Broly fight, but I mean, Baby's team itself struggles a lot with the Broly fight, right? You have to rely on the superclass characters on Baby's team in order to take down the Broly fight because it's just a pain. There we go, 82 million on the Zamos, and that should do the trick. So yeah, the Broly fight's a little bit tough for him. I think he could do okay in special battles like the Rose fight. If only problem is that, you know, the normals initially would be kind of tough and he would be a victim of locking, but he's immune to the supers, which post-super, which is nice because both supers are Key Blast. So there you have it, folks. There is the Fizz LR Janemba 1 year later on the Dokkan Fest Babies team. Honestly, really, really impressed here. Very happy with his performance. And, you know, for an EZA that's a year old, still holding up pretty good, which I think is kind of good. Now, you know, I've been saying this for a while. If we can kind of keep power creep at where it's at and we just focus on spreading out and building more of these teams, I would like to see more teams be brought to this level rather than us shooting up another couple million in stats like they did at GDC. So, because I think it could be really fun to see some of these characters kind of come back around and last more than a year, right? Because, you know, Janemba's barely hanging in there, but he's hanging in there well. Right, so that's it for the video, guys. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below, let us know what other characters would you like to see a year later. We will be checking out Gogeta here soon, but let us know what else you'd like to see in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.